mother's guilt turned into the control that ruined my future. The scholarship email arrived 2 hours before the bus. The subject line announced an update, and the body revoked my award for inconsistent records and a report from a parent about instability. I stood on the curb with my suitcase while the coach bus hissed away without me. Her guilt had grown roots after my father left during a winter of broken plates and a hospital bill. She said she failed me once and would not risk it again, and every promise turned into a lock, a password, a phone call made in my name. She monitored my bank alerts and set controls on devices I bought with bakery wages. Mail arrived opened with a neat slice. In 10th grade, I qualified for regionals and needed a weekend away. My coach cut me after receiving a tip that my asthma was uncontrolled. A recruiter stopped calling. Senior year, I scheduled a campus visits, and each school confirmed a withdrawal request submitted from an old tablet tied to our house. I reset logins and hit the charger, but new financial aid forms appeared with invented numbers, and the aid office flagged me as unreliable. I started keeping copies of everything and a second wallet with spare cards. My mother started keeping my birth certificate. A cousin offered a room if I enrolled at the community college by the river. My mother delivered groceries and a spare key. My car failed the week of midterms. The mechanic found sugar crystals in the tank. A week later, the bursar called about a payment plan I had never requested and a withdrawal form, misusing my middle name the way she always wrote it. The signature leaned left like hers. I applied to transfer to the state university and mailed the packet from the next town. The acceptance arrived, but the housing deposit bounced because a new card existed with my name and her address. My score fell below the dorm cutoff. I signed another lease near the river and learned to sleep through sirens. The medical assistant program offered a seat if I passed a licensing exam. My ID vanished the night before. My mother offered a ride so I could rest. The testing clerk refused me without valid identification. The rescheduled date pushed my clinical past the deadline. The clinic filled the slot with someone else. I took night shifts answering phones at an events hall and color-coded deposits in a safe. A hospital opened weekend training for call center work. My mother joined the orientation with her camera off and sent concerns from an email using my high school nickname. The coordinator postponed the training pending documents I did not possess because they were locked in her desk. By summer, the cousins planned a lake day. I packed a small bag and hid a manila envelope of originals under the spare tire. I borrowed a quiet car and paid cash for fuel. My phone filled with location requests. The highway curved toward the state line. The orange fuel light flashed even though I had filled a tank. I pulled onto the shoulder and smelled syrup through the vents. In the mirror, a familiar sedan slowed behind me and settled with patient distance. The afternoon air was hot and full of insects. I opened the trunk and slid the envelope against my ribs under my shirt. The other car door opened and closed. Footsteps tapped on the gravel. A hand rested on the roof near the passenger window and traced a slow half circle like a clock without numbers. The envelope edge pressed into my skin while I watched the shadow travel across the glass and waited for the handle to turn.